Johnny Depp's career has been nothing short of a roller coaster ride, with thrilling highs and deeply unsettling lows. For years, Depp was Hollywood's golden boy. From his iconic portrayal of Captain Jack Sparrow to his haunting turn as Edward Scissorhands, he had proven time and again that he was a versatile actor capable of bringing even the most eccentric characters to life. But behind the scenes, a storm was brewing, a storm that would eventually overshadow his career and lead to one of the most shocking moments in his professional life, losing his role as Gellert Grindelwald in the Fantastic Beasts franchise. Depp's journey to losing this major role wasn't just about acting or the movies, it was about personal struggles, public drama, and the intense scrutiny of the media. This wasn't just another case of an actor being replaced for reasons unrelated to their talent. It was an emotional, public, and highly controversial situation that turned the spotlight away from Depp's skill on screen and instead focused on his personal life. So how did we get here? How did Johnny Depp, the beloved actor, find himself out of a major franchise, and what did he have to say about it? To understand the full picture, we need to go back in time a little bit, to when Depp's life took a turn that would shake the foundations of his career. It all started with his marriage to actress Amber Heard. Their relationship, which began with the promise of love, quickly turned sour, and what followed was a highly publicized and bitter divorce battle. The media had a field day with their personal lives, and before long, every argument, every accusation, and every lawsuit became fodder for the tabloids. As the years went on, the drama only escalated. In 2016, Heard accused Depp of domestic abuse, which led to a very public legal battle. Depp vehemently denied these accusations, and the court cases that followed were long, drawn out, and covered in excruciating detail by the press. The media circus that surrounded Depp and Heard's marriage was relentless, and it affected Depp's career in ways no one could have predicted. At the same time, Depp was also struggling with his personal demons. He had long been open about his battles with substance abuse, and these struggles only intensified as the drama surrounding his divorce played out in the public eye. Depp's once glowing reputation began to tarnish, and Hollywood started taking notice. Studios began to question whether his personal life was now too much of a risk to tie to a major project. And so, it wasn't long before Depp's career began to feel the impact of these ongoing legal battles. Then came the moment that changed everything, the decision by Warner Brothers to let Depp go from his role as Grindelwald in the Fantastic Beasts franchise. To many, it was a shocking move. Depp had been cast in the role of the Dark Wizard, a character central to the Harry Potter spin-off series. The casting of Depp had generated buzz among fans of the series, many of whom were eager to see him play the antagonist to Eddie Redmayne's Newt Scamander. But as Depp's personal life continued to unravel, the studio had to make a tough call. Warner Brothers announced that Depp would no longer be playing Grindelwald in the third Fantastic Beasts film, and the role would be recast. To say that the decision was met with mixed reactions would be an understatement. Fans of Depp were devastated, while others believed it was a necessary step for the franchise. And while the studio didn't openly say it, it was clear that the reason behind Depp's firing was his ongoing legal issues. The media storm surrounding his personal life had become too much of a distraction, and the studio, wanting to keep the Fantastic Beasts films as successful as possible, made the decision to part ways with him. Now, let's pause for a moment and think about the situation from Depp's perspective. Imagine working on a project, pouring your heart and soul into a role, and then one day, being told that you're no longer needed, not because of your acting, but because of the media circus surrounding your personal life. That must have been incredibly difficult for Depp. He wasn't just losing a role, he was losing a part of his career, a project that he had invested time and energy into. It wasn't just a setback, it was a public humiliation. Depp, known for his quiet demeanor and reserved nature, didn't immediately speak out about the decision. But as time went on, and the dust began to settle, Depp opened up about his feelings on being let go from the Fantastic Beasts franchise. In interviews and statements, Depp expressed that he understood the studio's decision, but it still hurt. He had worked hard on his portrayal of Grindelwald, a character he was passionate about bringing to life. But despite the pain, Depp also made it clear that he didn't hold any ill will toward Warner Brothers. He understood that in the world of Hollywood, personal drama could have a profound impact on a career. Depp's story is a stark reminder that, in Hollywood, talent alone doesn't always guarantee success. No matter how good you are at your craft, the pressures of public life can be overwhelming, and personal struggles can easily spill over into your professional world. It's a harsh reality for many actors and public figures, but it's one that Depp had to face head-on. But even as Depp faced this massive setback, he didn't let it define him. Despite the public battles, the media scrutiny, and the personal pain, Depp continued to act, and he remained a prominent figure in Hollywood. His story is one of resilience. While he may have lost the role of Grindelwald, he never lost his love for acting. He went on to find success in other projects, showing that his talent couldn't be overshadowed by the chaos in his personal life. The decision to replace Depp with Mads Mikkelsen was a turning point in the Fantastic Beasts series. Mikkelsen is a talented actor in his own right, but the recasting didn't come without its own challenges. Fans who had been excited about Depp's take on Grindelwald were disappointed, and many wondered how the franchise would fare without Depp in such an iconic role. Mikkelsen's portrayal of Grindelwald was met with a mixed reception, and the Fantastic Beasts series itself faced its own set of challenges in the years following Depp's departure. Johnny Depp's story, particularly his departure from Fantastic Beasts and the fallout that followed, highlights a side of Hollywood that many fans often overlook. The world of glitz, glamour, and luxury creates a facade that we all buy into, the idea that the stars we watch on screen are living perfect lives, untouched by the same struggles we face in our own personal lives. But the truth is far more complex. Behind the red carpets and the flashing lights of paparazzi, these stars are still human. They face personal battles, deal with mental health struggles, and contend with the relentless pressure of public opinion. For someone like Johnny Depp, who had spent decades building a career based on his exceptional talent and unique character portrayals, the sudden shift in how he was perceived by the public was a harsh reality to confront. It wasn't just the legal battles, the media frenzy, or the constant scrutiny, it was the fact that all of this was happening in real time, for everyone to see. People were no longer seeing him as the quirky actor who had captivated audiences with his performances, but as the man in the center of a scandal. His public image, which had been carefully crafted over the years, was being torn down by the media, one headline at a time. This is where Depp's story serves as a broader commentary on Hollywood's often toxic relationship with its stars. When everything goes well, when a celebrity is on top, the media and the public adore them, placing them on a pedestal and making them seem invincible. But the moment something goes wrong, everything changes. One misstep, one scandal, and suddenly, that same pedestal becomes a trap, leaving them vulnerable to public opinion. Hollywood and its audience are quick to turn on their stars, especially when their personal lives become too messy to ignore. It's important to remember that stars like Depp didn't just wake up one day and find themselves in the spotlight. Their fame is the result of years of hard work, dedication, and passion. Depp's rise to fame wasn't just based on luck or being in the right place at the right time. It was because of his remarkable talent, his willingness to take on unconventional roles, and his unique ability to bring characters to life in a way that no one else could. He became a symbol of artistic freedom, a man who defied the traditional Hollywood mold. But in an industry as fickle as Hollywood, being celebrated one moment doesn't guarantee that you'll remain in the public's favor forever. When Depp's personal struggles came to light, it quickly became a case study in how Hollywood handles its stars when their personal lives intrude into the public sphere. The media, which had once been eager to cover every inch of Depp's career, now found more interest in his legal issues and personal battles. The headlines, which had once been filled with excitement about his latest film role or his quirky fashion choices, were now dominated by accusations and court cases. It's easy to forget, as a viewer, that behind these sensational headlines, there's a real person. A person who has feelings, who is trying to navigate an incredibly difficult situation, and who is dealing with the fallout from the public's judgment. What's particularly disturbing about this is how quickly the media and the public are willing to distance themselves from stars when they are no longer seen as perfect. We've all seen the headlines, "Johnny Depp's career is over, is this the end of Depp?" The media is quick to write off celebrities once they fall out of favor, as if their entire career and legacy can be reduced to a single scandal or controversy. The problem is that it ignores everything that came before. It ignores the fact that Depp's career wasn't just built on a few films, it was the result of decades of hard work and dedication. He wasn't just a star, he was an institution in Hollywood, a symbol of the eccentric, offbeat characters that audiences had come to love. But when personal issues spill into the public eye, as they did with Depp's divorce and the subsequent court cases, it creates a perfect storm of negative attention. And in Hollywood, that storm can be catastrophic. The public has an almost insatiable desire for drama, for stories of fall from grace, for celebrity scandal. But what many fail to realize is that this is not just entertainment for the audience. For the celebrities at the center of these stories, it's real life. The media frenzy isn't just a source of gossip for tabloids, it's a life-altering event that can affect everything from an actor's career to their mental health. Johnny Depp's experience is a stark reminder of how quickly a person can go from being the public's darling to being labeled as problematic. In Hollywood, that shift is often immediate, and it can have a lasting impact. The moment Depp's personal life became the subject of public debate, he was no longer just an actor. He became a symbol. A symbol of how fame can quickly turn into a liability. But what we often fail to realize in these situations is the emotional toll this takes. Imagine dealing with the pain of a breakup, the pressure of a public legal battle, and the heartbreak of losing your role in a film franchise, all while the world is watching your every move. The irony of this situation is that Depp's story isn't unique. In fact, it's a pattern that we've seen with many stars throughout Hollywood history. The public adores celebrities when they are successful, but the moment they show any signs of vulnerability, they are torn apart. The truth is that fame, while it may look glamorous on the outside, can be an isolating experience. For many stars, there's a constant pressure to be perfect, to never show weakness, and to always be in control. But as Johnny Depp's experience shows, even the most successful and beloved stars are not immune to the pressures of public opinion. In the case of Depp, this pressure became unbearable. While he was struggling to navigate his personal challenges, he also had to contend with the fact that his every move was being watched and analyzed by millions of people. Every word he said, every action he took, was scrutinized and criticized. It's easy for fans to forget that behind the public persona is a person with feelings, with struggles, and with a desire for privacy. And yet, the public's thirst for drama often outweighs the celebrity's right to privacy. This is the double-edged sword of fame. The ability to capture the public's attention can also lead to a loss of control over one's personal life. In many ways, Johnny Depp's story is a cautionary tale about the dangers of fame. It serves as a reminder that even the biggest stars are vulnerable to the pressures of the industry, the media, and the public. It's easy to forget that behind the headlines, there's a person who, just like the rest of us, is navigating the ups and downs of life. Depp's journey highlights the harsh reality that being famous doesn't make you immune to personal struggles. Instead, it often amplifies them, turning private issues into public spectacles. Ultimately, Johnny Depp's story reminds us that fame is a fragile thing. The public's love for a star can be fickle, and their career can change overnight. But beyond that, it serves as a reminder that we should never forget the humanity of the people we see on screen. These are real people with real emotions, and they deserve our empathy just as much as anyone else. So the next time we see a celebrity go through a tough time, maybe we can remember that they're not just actors, they're human beings, and they deserve the same understanding and compassion that we would give to anyone else facing a difficult moment in their life. As the years go by, Depp's career continues to evolve. While he may no longer be part of the Fantastic Beasts franchise, he has remained a fixture in the entertainment world. He's made appearances in smaller, independent films and has even continued to work in music. Despite everything that's happened, Depp has remained true to his passion for the arts, and his legacy in Hollywood is far from over. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? Johnny Depp's experience with losing the Grindelwald role is a reminder of how much the personal can influence the professional. It shows that, for better or worse, fame comes with a price. And for Depp, that price was the loss of a major role in one of the most beloved franchises in modern cinema. But through it all, Depp's resilience has shone through, and his journey is far from over. He may have lost the role, but he hasn't lost his place in Hollywood. As the world watches, Depp's story continues to unfold. He's faced setbacks, yes, but he's also proven that he can bounce back. His journey reminds us that, in the end, it's not just about the roles we play in front of the camera. It's about the strength we show behind the scenes when the world is watching. Johnny Depp's career may have taken a hit, but it's far from over. And in the end, it's his love for his craft that will continue to define him, not the controversies that have tried to take him down.